guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and on this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I'm going to show you how to make cannelloni, which are very similar to manicotti, but they're just a little bit different, and I'll explain what the difference is. But first, let me take you over the ingredients so we can get started. You're going to need some pasta tubes, also known as manicotti tubes. You're going to need some frozen, defrosted, chopped spinach, squeeze out all the liquid. You're going to need some turkey Italian sausage, garlic, Parmigiano Reggiano, salt, pepper. You're also going to need some bechamel sauce, which I have in the fridge right now. And then you're also going to need just a little teeny tiny bit of olive oil, just to kind of help the sausage brown up fast. So traditionally, you use pork sausage, but I feel like it gives way too much fat and it becomes way too greasy, and I don't like that, so I really much prefer using the Italian turkey sausage. Now, the difference between a manicotti and the cannelloni is that the cannelloni has a meat filling with a cheese sauce. The manicotti has a cheese filling with a meat sauce. Get it? But they're very similar. That's what I've been told anyway, so I'm just going with it. So in the skillet here with high sides, I have about a teaspoon of olive oil over high heat, and to that I'm going to add in my sausage that I've taken the casing off of. And I'm just going to break it apart as much as I possibly can. And I'm going to let this cook until it's pretty much cooked all the way through. To my sausage that's now fully cooked through, I'm going to add in my garlic. I'm going to cook this for about a minute, and try to break up the sausage as much as you possibly can using a wooden spoon, or actually a potato masher does a great job. Just be careful, if a potato masher is going to touch your nonstick skillet, it can scratch it, so I wouldn't do that. But just give everything a stir and cooking it for another 30 seconds or so, or until the garlic is nice and fragrant. That looks good. I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to put this in my bowl with my spinach. And all I'm going to do is kind of let it sit here for about 15 minutes to cool off a bit. And then once it's cool enough to handle, I'll show you what you need to do next. My mixture's been cooling for about 10 minutes, and I took my bechamel out of the fridge. Now, for the purpose of making this episode a little quicker, I made my bechamel ahead of time, but you can go on www.laurainthekitchen.com to get the recipe for it. It's super simple and easy. It's just a classic white sauce. And for the Manicotti shells, or the tubes, or whatever you want to call them, what I did was I boiled them in some salted boiling water for about 7 minutes, and then I drained them, not rinse them, but like shock them with cold water to stop the cooking process. And then I laid them on a baking sheet that's been lined with some paper towels just to absorb any extra liquid. So those are ready. Now we're pretty much going to put the whole thing together. In here, I'm going to put some of my bechamel, about a cup or so. And I'm also going to grate in a really good amount of Parmigiano, again, about a cup as well. Whoa. You don't want that. It's okay. That'd be for me. That looks good. I'm going to season it with some salt and pepper. You don't need too much salt because of the cheese, but you do want to season it pretty well. And just mix this all together. Okay, so we're pretty much ready to build. Now what I have here are 2 baking dishes, and I just buttered a little bit with some butter, softened butter. And I'm going to just put a little bit of the bechamel on the bottom of each one. And now, just using a small spoon, you want to fill all of your tubes. And I just do halfway through here, and then I turn around and do the other side, so it's easier. Okay, 1 down, and I've got a lot more to go. Once you have them all filled and in your baking dish, you're just going to top it with some more sauce. And just kind of spread it with your ladle here, just to kind of get it even. Okay, and then last thing, you want to grate a good amount of cheese over the top of that as well. Okay, that looks good. Now I'm going to put this into my preheated oven at 375 for about 40 to 45 minutes, or until it's golden brown and bubbly, and then we'll get to serve it. My cannelloni were in the oven for about 40 minutes, and that's exactly how I like them. Now, if you want them completely drowned in sauce, then I suggest you put them in a smaller baking dish, make them tighter, and that way there's more room for the sauce to kind of cover them all over. But I personally like it this way because it kind of gets crispy and it's gooey, and it's just, oh, it's so, so good. But, you know, to each his own, makes the world go round. It's really hot, really, really hot. I'm going to just give this a minute. Very good, but very hot. They're too good not to eat when they're hot. They're very simple and easy. You can put them together in no time. You can adjust the filling to whatever you prefer. And that's it. I hope you've enjoyed spending time with me. Go to www.laureandakitchen.com to get this recipe, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.